Hello everyone, it's Ashley here for Your Next Stamp, and today I have an episode for the Stamp Create Repeat series for you guys. I'm going to be making this interactive card, and I just love the way this turned out. I really enjoy making scene cards. They're so fun, and so I created a fun little barbecue scene here. It could be for like Canada Day or for 4th of July, or it could be a really fun birthday card, and I made it interactive, so this little guy goes back and forth, and his name is Waddles, so I just think that's so cute because he kind of like waddles back and forth. So I've got these two little cuties here, and then he has a little fish burger there, and then there's a little guy on the barbecue there making some fish, and I just love how this turned out. I used the new Your Next Stamp fireworks die, and I layered it with glitter paper, and it just looks so fun. So I'm going to share with you the products I use, and then I'll get into the process video. So first of all, I use the Your Next Stamp Black Olive ink. I love this ink so much. I say it in every video. I use the Your Next Stamp wire snips, and I will link all of this below so you can find it over in the Your Next Stamp store. I use these Your Next Stamp firecracker gumdrops, and they are sparkly, and then I just layered them on there, so it's just giving a little pop of glitter on those firework background. Here is the stamp set that I use. This is Waddles Bring On the Barbecue, and there is also coordinating dies that you can purchase separately, and this set is so amazing. It's perfect for Father's Day, birthday cards. I just love how it has all the barbecue, and then there's a really cute little penguin with a TV and a little beer that's so sweet too. This is the new Your Next Stamp Fabulous Fireworks die set, and when I showed the haul of new products, when I shared the June release for Your Next Stamp, so many of you guys asked if I would share this fireworks die, so here it is, and it is absolutely fabulous. It is so fun layered with that glittery paper. I just love how that created a background. I also used the large spinner slider die set, and I used this long slider there so that I could have this little Waddles going back and forth, and it's like he's serving the little burgers to everyone. It's so cute. I love it. I also use this die. This is the spring grass die, and I just use that for layering on the little grass there. And then I use this die here, which is the stitch rectangle die set, and I use the two largest sizes in that set. Then I use this Your Next Stamp For the Boys 6x6 paper pad. I love this paper pad so much. I use that blue and red gingham for the background, and I'm just going to flip through so you guys can see. This is such an awesome paper pad. Look at the little ketchup and mustard. So adorable, and there's this great barbecue one as well, and it matches that stamp set. So I just think that's so cool that the paper pad matches the stamp set, and you can have some ideas for colors, and it will just go perfectly for making cards and crafty projects. So let's get into the process video, and I'll share with you guys how I made this card. So first up, I took that paper from For the Boys 6x6 paper pad, and I cut it out using the largest size of the stitch rectangle. Then I cut out with the second largest size, the fireworks paper, that green paper, in the same size, and then I'm taking that grass die and cutting it out so that I can have some grass, and I just snipped off the side. And then for the third paper that I'm cutting out with that second largest size rectangle is that glittery paper so that it will come from behind and you can see it. So I'm taking the fireworks dies, and I'm just going to set them onto the background how I want them, and I'm going to cut them out. I thought it would be so cool to use that fireworks paper. That is from an older Doodlebug collection. And then when you lift it up, it's going to have the little cutouts. You could use the cutouts or do what I did and add a piece of paper behind. So I'm just taking an A2 size card and a white piece of cardstock, and I'm just cutting that down so that that will be my back base. And then using my ATG gun, I'm just adhering that on. And then I'm going to take my other pieces and layer up that sparkle so you can see that coming through. And I'm just adhering that down on top of the sparkle. And it just looks so fun with the glitter coming from behind. Then I'm going to layer on these little grass pieces, and I took the two pieces and I'm going to adhere them down so that I have more of a layer by using the two of them together. And then I'm going to adhere that on. And you have a perfect little scene there for a scene card. It's so cute. So now I'm going to use this large spinner or slider die set. So I'm going to do the slider one, and I'm just putting it on my die cut machine, and I'm just going to adhere these two pieces together. And then I'm going to put on the little slider piece, and I'm going to take a piece of Post-it note tape just so it stays in place, and then I can cut that out. And I just did it twice just so it would go through all of the layers. And then I'm going to now take a little piece of this green paper, and you can cut these little circles out to make the background for the spinner so it slides through. And now I'm going to take a piece of that green paper that matches the grass, and I'm just going to layer it behind so that when the slider is moving across, you don't see white behind it, you'll see the green. So I just layered that behind there. And I'm just going to adhere it down on that white piece of paper so that it will be right where I want it to be. And this way you'll see the grass all the way along, so you won't even notice that you don't want to see the white there. So I'm just taking some of these foam tape pieces and layering them up nice and thick. So you could use this for the background piece, but I'm actually going to use a penny. I do like to use a penny, you could use the other way also, but I prefer just use a penny because it's heavy, so it's going to pull that piece back and forth a lot easier. So I'm just putting the foam pieces onto the penny. I do love how the set does come with it though, because that's nice if you don't have a penny or you didn't want to add a penny in there. So I'm just taking foam, and I put foam all the way around the outside and primarily around that little slit. You want to make sure you add in your penny or your little circle so you make sure there's enough room for it to slide back and forth. So I'm just setting the penny there so I make sure, and then I filled that in with tons of foam pieces. And I just took my little static tool. It just has baby powder in it, and it just takes away all the stickiness around the edges there. And then I'm just placing it on with my little penny inside. And it goes back and forth so I can use that when I do my scene card. So I'm going to start out now by stamping out the images, and I'm using the black olive ink and just stamping these onto some Recollections cardstock paper. I'm just using the 65-pound cardstock. I know some people prefer to use thicker cardstock, but when I'm using Copics, I just prefer to use the 65-pound. So I'm just showing here, I was going to cut this out during the editing process, but I thought it might be fun for you to see what I kind of do when I'm making scene cards. You kind of can get to see where they're all going to go if you lay the stamps out on your page. So I decided I wanted this little barbecue guy as well because he would fit, and I wanted to use as many of the little critters on the set as I could. So for the little popsicle sticks, I used E55, and then I colored them in red with R39 and R14. And then for the blue part, I used B29 and B24. And then for the beaks, I used YR07, and I'm just going to do all of them at once. Blended that out with YR04 and YR02. Then I realized I forgot to do their little feet, so I'm just adding in their little orange on their feet using that same color combo, YR07, 04, and 02. And I love the Waddle stamps. If you love these stamps, when you head over to your next stamp store to check out their goodies, definitely type in Waddles in the search, and you'll see so many adorable sets using these little Waddles. They're precious. So to color up the little Waddles, I'm using black 100, and I'm just doing the small portion of shading with that, and adding it where I want the darkest portion. And then I'm going to go in with C8 and blend a little bit using that color. And it's very dark, which is nice because I can make a little bit of a gradient down to a lighter gray color. So I'm just blending that out, and then I'm going to use C4. And then I decided that I wanted to do more of a darker gray, so I went in with N4, which is like a neutral gray color. It's just a little bit darker than the C4. And as you can see, it's not fully blending because it's too far away of a color, and I don't have any colors in between those, so I'm just going to do the tip-to-tip technique where I touch the N4 to the N8, and you get a color kind of in between them, which is perfect, exactly what I needed, so I'm just blending it out with those. And then I'm just taking my white jelly pen for the little eyes and my black jelly pen for the black part of the eyes. And then I just take my white jelly pen and add a little bit of accents on the penguins. Now for the cap for the little chef, I used W1 just so it would have a little bit of shading to the white. And then for that little fish, I used YG06, YG03, and blending it with YG00. I love that color combo. And then for the lettuce, I used G05 and YG013. And then for the cheese slice, I used Y38. I love that little burger. It's so cute. And then for the bun, I used E55 and E53. And then I go back in with the E55 just to darken it just a little bit. And then for the little handle there, I also use that same brown color. And then I'm just using N4 and N0 for that little barbecue tool and also for the little barbecue grill right there. And then I also use it for the legs of the barbecue. So that's N4 and N0. And then for the primary part of the barbecue, I use a red color, which is R39, R27, and R14. And I love how that blended out. It looks really nice. Then I'm just using that same color for the pocket on the little chef's apron. And then I'm going to go in with the same N4 and N0 color combo for the little plate. And then for the little chef outfit, I used B29, B28, and blended that with B24. I thought it was a nice way to tie in some blue for the card since the background has a little bit of blue on it. And now I can do the rest of the black part of the penguin. So I'm using, again, black 100. And adding in all the shading, and then I'm using C8 to darken that up. And then I'm going to take N4, and then again I'm going to do the tip-to-tip technique with the Copics so that I can get a color in between both of them. And don't worry at all, it will not damage your Copic. You can just wipe it off onto a piece of paper, and many times you don't even need to do that because as you do the technique, it uses up that extra color that you had on it. And so then, same thing with this little guy. I'm using black 100, C8, and then again with the N4, and then I'll blend them out. And the blue bled a little bit into that red, so I just tried to clean it up a little bit by going back in with that red color just to blend it out a little bit. I just think these guys look so cute. I absolutely love making scene cards, and these little waddles are always a dream to make scene cards with because they always just are doing things in the stamps and they're just so precious. And then I just went back in on the little feet there, and I'm just taking my white jelly pen and black jelly pen again for the eyes, and my white jelly pen just to add some little accents. Since there's so much black there, it's nice to add some accent just to kind of even it out a little bit. Then I'm going to take the coordinating dies that you can purchase with the stamp set, and I'm going to just use my Your Next Stamp wire snips and cut these out, and these dies are just a dream to use. They cut out so nicely around all of the little images. So I'm just cutting these all out, and now I'm going to use my Post-it note tape to set them down so that they don't wiggle about. And then I'm going to run them through my die cutting machine. And I stamped them a little close to each other so I could only do those first 3 dies, and then I go back and do the other little waddles. So there's the barbecue, and look how great it cut around his arm. And there's that little cutie, and now I'm just adding on the die for the last little waddles. There he is. He's so cute. So now I'm going to set it all on so I can see where everything's going to go. And I love it, so I'm just gluing it down again with my ATG gun. And I tried to kind of have them at different levels so it kind of looks like a layered look. And then I'm going to take this little cutie and add it onto the little interactive piece. And I just added a little bit more foam just so it would go back and forth. And it adds perfect dimension because this little guy is kind of up close and he just looks like he is handing out burgers at the barbecue. So I just love how that part turned out. And then I decided that I was going to take some of the new Your Next Stamp Gumdrops. These are the firecracker ones, which is perfect because I'm using them on some fireworks or firecrackers. And I'm just matching up the colors to that background paper that has the little fireworks on it and just adding the little tiny ones all about just to give some nice sparkle. So that was my project for this week. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I will link all of the products below that I shared. I hope you'll head over to the Your Next Stamp store and check it out. Please leave me a comment. I love to hear your comments, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye now.